solution. I'm Mary Trimble and I'm here to give you your readings for this week for the March the 5th through March the 11th. And there's a lot going on astrologically, so I wanted to do a little report first. These readings are for your sun, moon and rising, so if you want to check out the other videos, there'll be links in the show more section below. Now, if you're checking out a couple of them, I will put the time that you can skip this report so you don't have to look at it every single time you check the video, a different video. So anyway, it's very exciting this week, right? Because we have two planets moving into Aries. Now, they're moving from Pisces into Aries. Now, Pisces is the last zodiac sign, and it has a little bit of everyone in it, every other sign in it. And it's like winter, right? And when we move into Aries, Aries is the beginning of the astrological year. It's like spring has finally sprung. Now, even though the sun is still in Pisces, we're going to have Mercury, the planet of thought, intellect, communication, is going to move into Aries on Tuesday, I believe it is, Tuesday the 6th, 5th or 6th, around there. And Venus is going to join Mercury. And Venus is the planet of love, finances. So we're going to feel kind of spring-like, like a new beginning. Before it actually happens, we're going to have that feeling of new beginnings. It's going to be a lovely feeling, and it's interesting because Venus has been very happy in Pisces. Pisces is very spiritual and sensual and loving, and it's, you know, Venus can spread its wings. And then when Venus moves into Aries, it's very kind of in the moment, you know, passionate, yes, maybe one night stands, yes, maybe not, you know, long-term relationships, but definitely fun and passionate and interesting. So she was soft and sensuous in Pisces, and she's going to be coquettish in Aries, so it'll be an interesting feelings, and we're definitely going to feel that. Now, on the 8th, we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, philosophy, deep thoughts and abundance, and also on the shadow side of that, overindulgence and overdoing things. So that's moving retrograde on the 8th. Now, what's interesting about, it's a very slow moving planet, so it's almost subtle. We will feel a change, but we kind of won't be able to put our finger on it. But it's definitely important to think about what we're expanding, where we're going. This is kind of, because Jupiter's about kind of the whole, the planet globally. And Jupiter is in Scorpio right now. So it's interesting, whenever a planet goes retrograde, the zodiac sign that it's in is kind of amplified. So Scorpio is about sexuality, it's about secrets, it's about deep things. And Jupiter, when that goes back, we may have a new resurgence globally about all these secrets coming out. You know, it's also about empowerment, so we might have more like Me Too movement. So we might see a lot of, you know, power, the abuse of power. So we might see some secrets coming up again, you know. And so that's something that we can look out for. But for ourselves, we need to look inside, and we need to, you know, think about how, what secrets are we keeping? Well, how can we take back our power? You know, what is going on with us that we need to kind of you know, look at those things. So always when a planet goes retrograde, it's really good to look at where we stand with those qualities. On the 11th, Mercury is going into a challenging aspect to Saturn. Mercury is the planet of thought and communication, intellect, and Saturn is the planet of restriction, boundaries, and sometimes they say accidents, right? This can be kind of a mentally frustrating, challenging time. So if we're aware of that, we might feel it a couple of days before, we might feel it a couple of days afterwards. We can observe it and say, ah, that's where that's coming from, and not react to it. Now, at the same time, which is, I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes because, you know, my mind is not what it used to be. Yeah, we have Mars at the very same time, we have Mars moving into a positive aspect. Mars in Sagittarius actually is moving into a positive aspect to Uranus. So this can mean sudden things are going to move forward, right? Because it's very fiery. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Aries is a fire sign, so we're going to feel that, you know, things are going to kind of move fast. So I think it's going to kind of offset that frustration mental thing that's going on, because maybe we're frustrated because we can't get everything done because everything's moving so fast. And, you know, Uranus is the planet of sudden happenings, surprises. So I think, and you know, Mars is the planet of action and, you know, moving forward. So things are definitely moving forward fast this week. So I think that might be a good thing. So much is happening astrologically this week. It's kind of exciting energy, a lot of fiery kind of spring energy. That's why I decided to wear a lot of colour this week. Anyway, let's go to the cards, shall we? Hi Virgo, and welcome to your reading for March the 5th through March the 11th. This is a general reading, guys, so if you would like a personal reading, the information for that is below in the Show More section. So the other videos, links to the other videos, because this is for your sun, moon and rising, so check out the other videos because it'll give you a fuller picture. Now, let's go to your cards. The first card that comes up for you is the Eight of Wands, which is kind of what's going on next week anyway. A lot of movement. Things are going to kind of be moving forward, kind of fast, faster than you have been going. So this is going to be a fast-paced week coming up. And what is clarifying this card, right? So having said that, right, with this being a very fast a lot of things happening kind of at once, you're going to have a balanced lifestyle for next week. Really be conscious about, you know, balancing your home life with your work life, being healthy, you know, getting exercise or getting out, walking more, movement. Keep it moving, guys. You've got the Nine of Water, wishes come true card. Virgo, this is great. Dreams fulfilled. It's like a magical time of life. How cool is that? And the next card you've got is the Ace of Cups, right? This actually signifies, it can be two things. It's definitely that you're intuitive and psychic abilities are enhanced right now. They're very sharpened and heightened. So when this card comes up, it's saying, look, rely on your intuition, your gut feeling. You know, the more you rely on your intuition and psychic abilities, the more reliable they become. This can also mean it's kind of news of a baby, something to do with a child, good news. You know, it could be a christening, it could be a birthday, it could be anything to do with a child. This is definitely a lovely emotional message coming through for you. And then, clarifying that, we have the Ace of Summer, which is almost the same thing. This is like, this is your cup floweth over. This is a really This is also another indication of your psychic abilities and your intuition being enhanced. So you are definitely getting that message coming through. Trust your intuition and trust your gut feeling this week. It's going to guide you, and allow it to guide you through the week, you know, through the energies of the week. It's really important. Now, this can also indicate that you're meeting someone new, you know, a new kind of love interest can be sparked. And that doesn't surprise me, because we have that feeling of spring, like Tuesday, you know, when Mercury and Venus move into Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac, even though the sun is still in Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac. We're going to have that feeling of spring coming in. And that's kind of a nice feeling. It's like spring forward. It's a refreshing feeling. So you might meet someone. Now, the next card we have, two cards fell out actually together. And you've got, look, you've got this wonderful 10 of Cups, which is, you know, this is, look, a very happy life, very happy family, really connected to your siblings and your parents and your, you know, could be extended family, it could be your chosen family. And this is, you know, an emotionally fulfilling, wonderful card. Now, next to it, you've got the 7 of Wands. So that's saying to me that, you know, protect that which is yours, protect your, stand up for your, look, when this card comes up, this is saying that don't go with the group consensus, right? Because you've got to stand up for your belief system and what you believe is right. Now, having said that, you have to take the higher ground. So you've got to choose your battles wisely. Don't just get in, don't be combative. You have to be diplomatic. You've got to take the higher road. So if you're standing up for your belief system, it's got to be for the higher good of everyone. And you have to really, look at the situation honestly and say, okay, is this worth fighting for? Is that what, you know, choose your battles wisely. And when you do engage, do it from a higher ground, from a higher realm kind of thing. When I say, you know, spiritually. So be kind, be compassionate, be calm. I always say when you go in and you want to tell someone your, you know, opinion, or you want to put your case forward, if you will, you have to be calm. Like really good politicians are very calm. I say I could never be a politician because I'd be like, but you should see my family in a room, forget it. So, but this is saying, you know, hold back on, you know, lashing out and take a deep breath and say it very calmly and not condescending as well. You have to be very careful. My sister's a Virgo and she can be perfect, can't you, Kathleen? She's perfect. Anyway, come from the higher ground. Now, clarifying those two cards, you've got the 8 of Winter. And so it's an okay, so you're feeling kind of trapped in this situation, right? But that's an illusion. I feel that you've got to have, it's your self-esteem that's kind of suffering at the moment. So you can kind of succumb to peer pressure just to keep the peace, but there's sometimes you really do have to speak up. You know, you have to speak your truth, you know, kindly and compassionately. But you are feeling trapped and you're feeling like you can't do that. And this card, when this comes up, it's an illusion, you know. It's a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting to where you want to go. So, look, when this card comes up, you have to not listen to that internal voice. And you have to change the internal dialogue. It's very important to listen, first of all, get the awareness that you have an internal dialogue, because a lot of people don't even realize that they're abusing themselves all day long. You know, when you start to hear that internal voice, you know, you're like, wow, God, if somebody talked to me like that, I'd deck them. And really, we're saying that kind of stuff down, you know, really criticizing ourselves. Now, Virgo, we know you're very good at criticizing. You're very good at criticizing yourself. Don't criticize yourself. It's like you really have to put the bat down. Put it down. Stop beating yourself up. You know, be gentle with yourself. Start looking at all the wonderful things about you. Start, you know, you may not be feeling appreciated right now, is what I'm getting. And so you've got to appreciate yourself, right? When you appreciate yourself and you start seeing all the attributes that you have and you start recognizing them and you give yourself credit for them, darling, everyone else starts seeing them, right? No one can see them if you don't see them, or some people still see them when you can't. Actually, that's definite. So Virgo, look, I feel that this week is really incredible. The only negative thing is you. I don't want to say it like that. I don't mean you're the negative person, but what I mean is you're saying negative things to yourself. You're believing them. You believe that you're trapped and stuck. No one's trapped. There's always a way out. There's always a choice. You know, you can choose the high road or you can choose the low. Oh, don't get me started. I was going to sing, you take the high road and I'll take the low. My God. It's getting late. Little doppo here. Virgo, thank you so much for tuning in. If this reading resonated with you, then give me a like, a thumbs up. If it didn't, then keep it moving. Darling, I'm sorry. Maybe you need to come back next week. Maybe it's for you next week. But like, share on your social media and comment. I read every comment and I respond if it's, you know, if it requires me to. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I've started a Patreon page and you can check that out. It'll be in the description box below. It'll be in a link at the end of the video somewhere around here. And it's also in the channel art on my website, in the top right corner as you look at it in the artwork. There'll be a link there. Patronize me, darling. You can do that for as little as $2 a month, and you know, you can change it anytime. Listen, it's a little bit of money, but it's a whole lot to me, and it can help me create more content and use professional camera. You know, I only use my phone right now, so that's why I get distracted sometimes because messages come in. So anyway, and I could get so much more done, but if you can't do that, that's fine too. That's okay. The fact that you're just here and you're watching this is wonderful. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week. To inquire about or purchase any of Mary's services, please email mary@liveinthesolution.com.